Shalom, 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 shalom. First and foremost, giving infinite praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, B'chakodash, giving double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone and Shalom and salutation to all you sensei Akim across the four winds, pushing his truth with sincerity of heart. All right, in this lesson, we're going to go into, this is going to be another edition of the Watchtower. And, we're going to go into prophecy that's happening right now. All right. And without further ado, as you see right here, this is an article called newsmax.com. And it says migrant says American dream doesn't exist anymore. All right. So we know about the migrant situation that's been going on. And, a lot of our people, especially the northern tribes, Salakia, so-called Hispanics, all right, basically they were told that they can just, just come into the United States. Basically, Biden and the Democrats basically told them, hey, you could just come into the United States and, and live and get a piece of this American dream. All right. So, a lot of our people, being ignorant, they took the bait. So now a lot of them are having buyer's remorse. So let's read about it. It says many migrants who make it to the U.S. border have decided to turn back and return to their home countries after discovering how poor conditions are for migrants in the United States. All right. And this is scriptural. All right. It says Michael Castellon, a 39-year-old from Venezuela. All right, Venezuela. It says told the Chicago Tribune that he and his family, including his wife and teenager stepdaughter, have become fed up after spending 5 months sleeping either in a Chicago police precinct or a city shelter, unable to obtain a work permit or to enroll his stepdaughter in a local school. All right. Two of the main reasons his family came to this country. All right. So Jake basically left Venezuela and came to America, came to Babylon the Great, because, of course, he heard the rumors for decades that, hey, America is just the streets of America paved with gold. And, that kind of nonsensical talk. So he came in here to find out that, hey, man, listen, Babylon the Great, the United States, and the American dream, which for the most part was always an illusion. Even when the American dream was attainable, it was really attainable. It was always something that was set up and attainable for about 25% of the population. But as long as you put it out there as anybody could be part of the 25%, you would have a rat race of slaves basically, trying and to be part of the 25%, which there will never be. All right. So it says, quotes, it says, the American dream doesn't exist anymore. Castellon told the Tribune as his family prepared to leave. Damn. Says there's nothing here for us. There is nothing here for us. We just want to be home. Castellon said, we didn't know things would be this hard. I thought the process was faster. Castellon told the Tribune that his struggles to secure a job made him feel powerless to provide for his family. Right, because you brought your family from Venezuela all the way to Babylon, a.k.a. the U.S., and now you sleeping in the cold streets of Chicago. And I personally haven't been to Chicago, but, man, listen, we heard about, the cold windshield and what they call, what's that? They call it the Great Hawk. I heard about that. It says, let me see. It says, and he said that he turned to the Catholic Charities of Chicago for help getting him and his family back to Venezuela via Texas. All right, so now he's going back. All right, I mean, it's a new day and age, man. I mean, normally when people came to America, they basically settled. All right, I mean, from the Irish, the Italians, Africans, even South Americans, anybody, the Asians. So, I mean, everybody that came here basically settled and had generations upon generations, established here in America. But now we've come to a point in time um, where individuals are coming to America and they say, nah, this thing is a wrap. All right, this place is through. The empire is falling. We got to get out of here. All right. And this is all scriptural. All right. It's not a coincidence that, Jake got interviewed and said the things that he said, and it was put on multiple articles, because it was put on articles so that the men of the Lord can capture it, bring the scriptures to measure the time and warn the elect out of the nation of Israel, so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. All right. Beginning with the ones, here in Babylon, and then, of course, the rest of the Israelites across the world, that they understand, like, yo, listen, this place is going down. The empire is falling. All right. It says, how many more months? Let's go back. It says the organization has helped many immigrant families return to their home countries after they've become disillusioned. After they've become disillusioned with life in the United States, right? Because the majority of United States citizens are in complete delusion. All right, it's a major delusion that's driven by the lying scum politicians, which they always serve the bidding of the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers. So they, through the United States mainstream media, a lot of people still brainwashed. But now with the inflation and the rising hyperinflation, even the media can't really lie about this stuff no more, because people's pockets is hurting. You have a high level of eviction going on in the United States. It's being reported. It can't be hidden. You have a lot of tents. You have tent cities all over the country. So the empire is falling, and it's being made so obvious that even foreigners come here and say, nah, man, I'd rather go back to South America. I'd rather go back to the ghettos from which I came from, because here it's even worse. I'm just going to get my family killed. All right. It says, how many more months of living in the streets will it take? Castellon asked. No more. It's better that I leave. It's better that I leave. At least I have my mother back home. Jake has a mother. They got a whole family, man. He said he got to go back to his mama. It's an Israelite thing, man. Regardless of tribe, Judah on down to Issachar, man. Jake got a whole family. But he said, hey, man, I got to go back to mama. It says, he added, we just want to be home despite the authoritarian regime ruling over Venezuela. Yeah, whatever, man. I mean, it says, if we're going to be sleeping in the streets here, we'd rather be sleeping in the streets over there. All right. So, hey, man, this is very important, because this is prophecy. All right. So, without further ado, let's go to the precepts. This is Ecclesiasticus or Sirach, the 34th chapter. All right. And this is what the scripture says about dreams. All right. It says, the hopes of a man void of understanding are vain. All right. So Mr. Castellon, his hopes, in the United States were vain. Why? Because he was void of understanding. He was ignorant. But his whole existence, and the moves that he made, that he was really putting the spirit to make, and to come out here and to be disappointed and to end up in the news and to voice his disappointment about the current state of Babylon. This is all for prophecy's sake. All right. It says, the hopes of a man's void of understanding are vain and false, and dreams lift up fools. It was a foolish thing for him to bring his family all the way from a warm place like Venezuela to the cold streets of Chicago. I mean, the ones of us that live here, we don't even want to go to Chicago. Most of us don't want to go to Chicago. You know what I'm saying? Like, Chicago is bad. All right. Chicago is an awful place. It says, verse 2, it says, whoso regardeth dreams is like him that catcheth at his shadow and followeth after the wind. The vision of dreams is the resemblance of one thing to another, even as the likeness of a face to a face. All right, but the main point is verse 1. All right, I mean, the American dream is just what it is. It's a dream. All right, it was never a reality. It was an illusion. All right, it was an illusion. This is Jeremiah 50:16. It says, "Cut off the sower from Babylon, and him that handleth the sickle in the time of harvest." For of course, cut off the sower from Babylon is what's that? It's the middle class. It's the middle class citizen, the middle class worker. Which that happened to its greatest extent in 2020 when the C-19 came about, which if you know anything, that was the whole plan, the Great Reset, the fourth industrial revolution. All right, so Jeremiah 50:16, it says, "Cut off the sower from Babylon, and him that handleth the sickle in the time of harvest. For fear of the oppressing sword, they shall turn everyone to his people, and they shall flee everyone to his own land." All right, so the scripture constantly speaks about people taking flight. All right, people being disappointed by the current state of the virgin daughter of Babylon, all right, aka the United States. And Jeremiah spoke about this. All right, this is Jeremiah 51. All right, the following chapter, subtitled "Babylon Judged for Sins Against Israel." All right, so the Babylon here is referring to the United States, and is being judged. The economy collapsing, third world war right around the corner. The famine, the degeneracy, all these different things is the decay of the empire. Is why. It's because the nation of Israel, Negroes, Hispanics, and Natives have been enslaved, for over 500 years in this place. All right, and they won't let us go. All right, they got our people completely under this illusion, that Babylon is the land of milk and honey. It's Jeremiah 51:1. It says, "Thus saith the Lord, behold, I will raise against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst of them, that rise up against me, a destroying wind." All right, which it goes into the missiles. Now let's jump down to let's jump down to verse 7. It says, "Babylon has been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad." All right, the nations have embraced the United States policies, and so when you embrace the United States policies and philosophies, then you become mad. The degeneracy is not just here in the United States. You go to Japan, they turn into a whole bunch of degenerates. You got all kinds of degeneracy going on in all of Europe, all right? And even in the third world nations, they have degeneracy going on, all right? It's all over the world. Disgusting and despicable acts of abominations are taking place, but the axis of this evil is the virgin daughter of Babylon. It's the U.S. All right, verse 8, it says, "Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her, take balm for her. If so be, she may be healed." All right, that destruction right there is talking about primarily the decay. All right, it's talking about the decay, the financial decay, the social decay, economical decay, social decay, civil decay, which is going to take place, in the form of civil unrest. So, I mean, there's a lot of things that's coming down the pipe, and a lot of souls are being basically having to leave. They're having to exit. All right, there's an exodus going on, a quiet exodus going on out of the United States. It's just not being reported as much because, America still got to put up a front that everything is Gucci. Why? To keep the illusion going on for the citizens of America. All right. So verse 9, it says, "We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let us go, everyone to his own country. For her judgment reacheth unto heaven, and is lifted up even to the skies." All right. So, you have multiple, people actually physically leaving. Why? Because it's according to prophecy. All right. America's ran through. America has nothing else to offer. That's the reason why people are leaving. All right. Isaiah 25:7, it says, and he will destroy in this mountain the face of the covering cast over all people, and the veil that is spread over all the nation. All right, the covering cast and the veil is talking about the blindness and the delusion. All right, there's been a great delusion across the world, primarily beginning with our people. The Israelites, believing that the United States was the land of milk and honey, when it was the total opposite. The United States was always the land of Israel's final captivity. All right. It was told in the Bible that we will be slaves in the United States. We will lose our nationality. And in the meantime, you will have a group of people living in our land, all right, committing identity theft. That's the reason why in the Middle East and all that, the Palestinians, everybody in the Middle East know that the jewelry, the current Jewish citizen is not a real Jew. That's the reason why they won't stop effing with them. All right, because they all know. The problem is they're not willing to let the whole world know, because at the end of the day, it doesn't really benefit them. All right. Amalek being in the land of Israel doesn't benefit the nations. But us really going back to our land also doesn't benefit the nations. And so they see that as an L regardless. So that's why they just rather keep us, the ones of us that don't know, they rather keep us ignorant, and they rather the world be kind of mostly ignorant as long as they personally deal with Amalek. And it's just not going to go down that way. All right. So let's wrap up with the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 1, the subtitle, God answers the prophet. All right. It says, I will stand upon my watch, which is the watchtower. I will stand upon my watch and set me upon a tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. So you heard the words of Mr. Castejón, from Venezuela, right? You heard his words, and basically his words match what the scripture said about individuals quietly exiting, Babylon. These are signs that the empire is falling and our deliverance is nearer than most believe. Verse 3, it says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. All right. So it's not really, it seems like it's taking forever, because, us waiting for the downfall of Babylon, we waiting for this downfall on human time. Godly time is different. I mean, to the godly time frame, Babylon is going down in the blink of an eye. But when you transfer that to human time, dealing with us having 24 hours in a day, 365 days a year, like it seems like, it's taking forever. But it really isn't. It's just we live in a different plane. That's why, we just got to be patient, but it's happening. That's why we got to stay on our watch, because if you don't stay on your watch, you're gonna fall prey to the delusion that Babylon has got a couple more decades to go. When this thing, like I said, 2024 is going to be a critical year. It's going to be the most important year in the history of humankind. It's, definitely in the history of Yasha, because 2024, without a doubt, I foresee civil decay, to the likes that hasn't been seen since the Civil War, that happened between the northern states and the southern states. All right, so that's all I had for the day. I know you were edified, and you just constantly keep watching, for what's going on in the prophecy. All right, so Kal Halayim Lai Hawba Shemel Shah, double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom, salutation to all you sincere Akim across the four winds, pushing this truth with sincerity of heart. Continue to watch, continue to pray. You know what I'm saying? And again, y'all, Yahushua is closer. He's closer than you believe. You just got to continue to measure the times. All right, Kasama God from the DC camp. Shalom.